Okay. So a reminder, this is WST156 Web Media Production, and today we're going to be using Google Web Designer and Adobe Photoshop to create ads. Most of you should already have Photoshop, I think. So we'll start with Photoshop, I think. So it'll be the more simple type of ad. Um, so I know this is used because I've used it. So when you're creating an ad for Google or some kind of ad agency, they're gonna ask you to submit ads in specific sizes so that they can be able to they'll be able to show it on different devices. Okay, so you don't just create one size. From my experience, it's usually like 14 different sizes that I have to do. Um, but it's you can make it easier for yourself if you develop like a nice system for doing it. Um, now more recently I prefer doing it in Google Web Designer, even though this is a very buggy software. I mean, it'll drive you crazy sometimes, but it allows you to create HTML ads. So ads that um, can have HTML animations um, and interactions. So you'll be able to hover your mouse over something and have it animate, or I don't know. It's just more advanced ads. With Photoshop, you can create static ads. Actually, you could also create animated ads if you make a GIF. Um, but this will be more just, just an image basically. So common sizes will be, let's see, image size. 500 by 500 could be a size that you might see for an advertisement. Let me try to remember some of the sizes that we always use. Like the smallest you might see is 200 by 50, or was it 300 by 50? Let me see. Oh, nothing happened. 200. Oh, and why is it stuck to a square size? Or resample. There we go. Okay. You have to click resample and you have to uncheck that thing. So it lets you make it not the same shape. I think this is a little bit short. So let's look at it actual size. Image, or view, zoom, 100%. Oh, this is way too big. Let's check the resolution. 10. Okay, so that I don't know how I actually put 10 there, but that should be 72. So any digital screen, if you're gonna create content for the screen, resolution is usually at 72 pixels per inch. Okay, at 72 pixels per inch, what you see is what you get. I'm not sure why it's so humongous though. 72 pixels. I mean 72 DPI, and an image that's 50 by 200 should be tiny. Oh, because I'm set to inches, not paying attention. That should be in inches, and this should be 300. Okay, so 300 by 50, 72 resolution, and this should be pixels. There you go. That's what, well, here, 100%. That's what it looks like. So The smallest ad sizes I've done are usually this size. I start with the smaller ones because they're more difficult to do because they're so small. It's hard to fit all the information in such a small area. So I start with that and then I scale up. So to make things easier, you could create new art. I don't know if artboards will actually help, but you have the option here in Photoshop to create multiple artboards. You could go to layer new artboard. Call this artboard. I would probably just put the size. So let's say 320 by 50 and make that 320 by 50. Okay, so far we have one artboard with canvas on it. It says 320 by 50 here, but let's actually see. It's from here we could see the ruler. It is actually at 320. I don't know why it says 900 though when I look at it here. I think it's doubling the two artboards. There we go. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's delete this. I'm gonna start fresh. I don't know what's going on there. File new. Okay, let's just define it here. 320 by 50 and 72 pixels per inch. Do we want to use artboards? Could check that to enable them. And that just means you can create multiple artboards instead of just the one. So if I click on the artboard here and I click oh, there's no new artboard button. We have to do it from here. There, new artboard. There we go. Okay, I don't know why last time it looked so weird. Now it makes more sense. Okay, so as you can see, I can create multiple artboards just like in Adobe Illustrator. And they can all be different sizes. What's nice about having multiple artboards is you could save them all together. If you do an export, and in this case it says image will not be exported, select item to get more details. I don't know if it's because it's maybe because it's empty. It has no, even though I have an artboard, I don't have any layers on it. Probably that's why it's saying that. So if you look here in my layers panel, I don't know if I could zoom in. I can't really make it bigger, but we got three artboards and only the first one has a layer in it. So just click the new layer button, add a new layer in artboards 2 and 3. Now if I export, probably won't give me that same message. Yeah, so now it's able to actually export all three of them. So I'll go in here and I'll define all the sizes that I'll need. The first one will leave it at, what is it, 320, 300 by 320. Let's go smaller. I'll make this one 300. Okay, if we look at the size, this is not a good way to check the size because it adds up, as you can see, 1920 by 50. It's adding like all three of them together. So you gotta check maybe the canvas size. Even there, I don't know why it doesn't let me set just this one's size. Image, canvas size. There's no option. So since there is no option there to see just that one, you're gonna have to rely on the artboard tool. You could just do it with this. Like if you look up here in the control panel, when you have the artboard tool selected and you select an artboard, it'll tell you how big it is at the top and you could just change it there. But the usual image size and canvas size is going to be useless for this because it's counting all three of them. Alright, so let's just do the first one at 300 by 50. 300 by 50. Then we go to the next one. This one can be 320 by 50. This one can be 320 by 100. And then I'm just gonna reference um, the sizes that I usually get. Actually, we could check Google Web Designer. If you create a new file, Google Web Designer, you can see here these are standard sizes. But let me just do one that's say 300 by 250. Just call this test and let's put it on the desktop. Okay, and if I click responsive, sizes and ranges, enable this, there's a list of common sizes that you might see. So we got the 300 by 50 and the 320 by 100, and I added 320 by 50 as well. Or no, it's there too. So let's do one that's 160 by 600, 250 by 250 square, and then some bigger sizes. We'll do a 728 by 90. And see, just one more size. Let's do see, 300, 160, 250, 320 by 50. Let's do a 320 by 480 as well. Okay, so I'll create one more on this side. You click these plus and plus signs above and to the sides, above, below, and to the sides of the artboard if you want to create another artboard near it. I'm just gonna keep it in a single row, I think. Okay, so for this one, actually for the names, let's make sure we rename them so we remember which one's which. Even though you could just select the name and it'll tell you the size. Still, I would rather just change the name. What's a quick way to rename it? Probably have to do it through here. Double click artboard 1, just change that to 300 by 50. $320 by 50. and 320 by 100. Let's change the size on this one. We'll do this one to 160 by 600. Um, Actually, I think I'm gonna start going down this way now. Do 250 by 250. Just making sure I'm adding a layer inside each one. So just click the new layer button if they're empty. I think they all have a layer at least now. And create one this way. This will be 728 by 90. Let's add one down here. So if you lose these little plus signs, just make sure you're on the artboard tool. What was the last size I needed? 320 by 480. Do I already have that one? No, I don't. Okay, we'll make this one 320 by 480. Cool. So I've got all my artboards. Um, so you kind of see all the different sizes of the ad that we're gonna have to create. Okay. So we're gonna need a message that we wanna. What are we advertising? Gotta think of that. Get some ideas for some ads. Maybe we could search online. Banner ad. I wonder if there's a website that just shows you example banner ads. Okay, we'll do something simple like sale. Yeah, we'll do a sale. Maybe use code something for whatever percent off and shop now. And then I think we could probably skip the company or logo name. I don't know if it's necessary. 'Cause then we'll have to think of a name. So let's think of the message that we're gonna need. So we're gonna do an ad. Ad. What am I doing? Okay, we're gonna do multiple sizes. So we could do 300 by 50, 320 by 50, 720 by 90, 160 by 600, 250 by 250, and like was it 480 by 320 or 320 by 480? There's both. I mean, there's a 320 by 480. There's probably a 480 by 320 here somewhere. Maybe not. So we'll do 320 by 480 then. Okay, for the message in add should be simple. Remember, you must fit it all in a small size. But doesn't mean you're not allowed to create different versions. They don't all have to look exactly the same. The main message, because it's going to be basically uh, an ad campaign. You want to make all the ads look the same, have the same information. But where you're restricted, smaller sizes, you could leave out some words, and the bigger, larger sizes, you could probably, because you have more space and because it's not going to be so small, you could fit more of your images or whatever content you're going to put in there. You could have more freedom in the bigger size. Okay, so what kind of message do we want to write? Um, Something generic like enter code 360 to get 20% off. These are just options. You don't have to do that one. Let's see, what other things can you think of? About winter sale. Save now. Gone. Yeah, there's Valentine's Day's coming up. You know what? This is a good time to ask ChatGPT to help us come up with some ad ideas for content. So we'll open up um, Copilot.
The,
Yeah.
when I'm trying to my artboards are on each other, and when I try to move them, I get a message saying, "Could not complete the move command because the scratch disk is are full." What's that?
Check the image size. So I didn't realize I was muted. Go to image size. Tell me what it says. I feel like you might have it on inches and you're out of space because they're too big.
Okay, I put it on pixels. Let's see if I can move it now. Could not complete the move command because the scratch disks are full.
Try deleting the one. Well, yeah, delete them all except for one, and
Uh-huh.
make sure it's in pixels.
Okay. All right, I try it. Okay.
Okay, and then just duplicate that one. I'll put paste the sizes in the chat so you could reference it. Let me pause this real quick. And here's what Chat GPT came up with. Flash sale up to 50% off. Shop now. Upgrade your style. 50% off. Limited time only. Trendy threads flash sale. Up to 50% off on all items. Shop now and save big. That one's got a little bit more text. Exclusive flash sale. They're all kind of similar. Trendy threads flash sale up to 50% off on all items. Limited time only. Sign up for exclusive deals. Okay, so yeah, just you could come up with your own. This is just examples I'm coming up with. But let's go ahead and pick one of these. I'll go with the one. It's this one, not too long, not too short. This will be our message. Exclusive flash sale. Get up to 50% off. Limited time offer. So I gotta think of how we're gonna arrange the words. And remember, we gotta reuse it on multiple artboards, different sizes. So I'm gonna be copy pasting a lot. I don't want to recreate everything. So and I'll start with the smallest size, and I'll try to group the text together that I think is gonna stay together. Like exclusive could be by itself, so I might put that in a separate text box. Why is it white? Yeah, so we'll put the exclusive word by itself because you might want to, write exclusive big by itself and then the text under it. So let's do that. And you'll notice now that I'm actually adding some content in this 300 by 50 box, you can see how small it actually is. It gets really pixelated. So it's important to keep reminding yourself. If you click view 100%, that's how big it's going to be. So we'll just drop that right there for now. Make sure we're on this artboard here, where here's our layer for exclusive. Flash sale can be together. And get up to 50% off. I don't know. This one, it'll probably vary. I don't know. I don't think it'll stay consistent. So I'll just paste the whole thing together. And limited time offer. You can see how it's getting really cramped. I'm out of space already. Like it doesn't leave you much room for design. So you gotta focus on getting the message across. And then maybe, do we have room for a button like shop now? Or maybe we could make limited time offer the button. Okay, but anyways, I think that's all the text we're gonna need in this one. That's gonna be all the text for all the boxes, basically. Okay, but we're doing that one first so we could see, it's gonna get pretty cramped. So we gotta make that fit. Now we can, now that I have all of this here, we can start thinking about the font sizes and everything. So right now it's really thin. It's readable though, so that's not, the size isn't too small. That's good. But I'm gonna probably pick a bolder font maybe. I'm gonna scroll through these different fonts. I don't want to choose anything crazy, so I'll probably stick with um, our sans serif fonts, something like.
How do you move an artboard? Because every time I create one, it it's just over it just lays it over the another artboard, and when I try to move it, it won't move.
Well, I'm able to move it like this.
Why am I can't
Are you on the move tool or the artboard tool?
the move
Either one.
move
Well,
is it double click or what? Oh, artboard is artboard 4 move. It doesn't move. It just makes another, what's this? Broken lines square with a width and height. It's not moving.
can I? Maybe you could
Artboard
share your
4.
screen.
I'm using another
Okay.
laptop for this. Why? Move. How do you move? So I ended up deleting the artboard and try to
Try clicking
now
the name of the artboard and then moving it.
clicking the name. Oh, the name. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, why is that the name? Okay.
I see what you're doing. Yeah, in Photoshop it could be frustrating because if you have a layer selected, it doesn't matter what you're clicking on. That the layer that's selected is what's gonna move. So you
Okay.
gotta
Got it. Thanks.
select it first.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome. Right. So I chose this font Oswald because I don't know, it's narrow, so it's better for a small space like this. I could fit more text, but I also want to make it a little bit more bold. So I'm going to select all these text layers um, and go to the type tool. Where to go? And let's make this. Let's try regular first. Medium, bold. I think we could do medium. And yeah, that's what Oswald looks like, but you could scroll through, try different font size. I think I could even go for something like this. This looks more fun, I think. Bungie. I think I might go with this one. Cool. So now let's think of how we want to lay these out. Exclusive. There needs to be some hierarchy. What do you want to pop out to people? I think the get up to 50% off is an important message in this. And all of these seem like they're equally important though. Limited time offer, flash sale, exclusive. Maybe we should have chose better message with more clear hierarchy. Okay. Do exclusive, limited time offer. Do we need all that? Let me see. It was originally exclusive flash sale, so I should stay together. And in Photoshop, you can turn on auto select if you get annoyed by the way it selects things. Auto select will automatically select whatever you click on, so you don't have to select a layer or control click. Usually, what I do is if auto select's not turned on, I press the control button or command on a Mac, and you see it enables auto select when you hold control. So I usually do that, click something to select it. Otherwise, you see what happens. I try to move this or that. The last thing I selected moves. So control clicking will select something, or you could just turn on auto select and it'll automatically select whatever you click. So let's do exclusive flash sale. We'll make these bigger with free transform. That doesn't leave us too much room for the rest of this, so gotta scale it back down. Oops. So the exclusive and flash sale, I think I made it too big. Bring it down a little bit. Limited time offer I think can be small. We could also try rearranging things, like maybe exclusive flash sale together and then limited time offer on the top, I think I liked it better this way. Okay, and then scale this up a little bit. Right, that doesn't give us much room to do anything else, does it? Exclusive flash sale, limited time offer, up to 50% off. Now we gotta think of design. What else could we add to this? Um, well, if we had brand colors, we could include the brand colors in the text here. But then you also gotta think about having readable text. If you change the colors, make sure there's still good contrast. So um, I think we could start by maybe changing the background color. I'm gonna go with like a bright yellow. We can also add some shapes and make something look like a button. Maybe take a rectangle and make limited time offer black. Make sure the text is readable. Let's click the type tool. When you're changing text color, just remember if you want to change the color of the text, select the text layer, and then with the type tool, you'll be able to change the color from there. It's not going to be through your normal color tools. So type tool, select the layer, type tool, and then it'll be up here in the control panel. If it's not there, you could also go to window and then open up your character panel. Just have that open and maybe dock it here so it's always there. And then you can always click that to change the color of your text. And what's happening here? I'm control clicking it because I forgot I turned on auto select. Um, Limited time offer. That's fine. That's fine. Don't know if we have room to round the corners. And then not much room for anything else. We could squeeze things a little bit together. Well, this limited time offer maybe needs to be shrunk from 14 to 13. Then we'll take that rectangle and if we transform that, select everything. Let's just make sure it's centered. Cool. Okay, all we can really add to this is maybe something like this. Draw a rectangle with no fill, and for the stroke, we'll choose a dashed line. Let's make sure that's thick enough to see it. Right, and then maybe some scissors. And here's where you could make your own. You could find a scissor GIF somewhere, or maybe in a separate file. Wait, I'll do that later. I'll add the scissors later. For now, let's just do this, and now let's transfer it to this size. So this is the most similar to this size because it's only 20 pixels wider, so it's almost the same thing. Meaning we should be able to just take all of this stuff and hold the control button or the alt button, just copy it over. Let's not forget to get the background. So I'm holding the alt button. Here's the 300 by 50 layer. I'm shift selecting everything in the layer so it's all selected, holding the alt or option if you're on a Mac, and my mouse changes to double arrows. That's how you know you're about to copy, and then you just click it and drag it over. Okay, once it's copied, then we could reposition it if we need to. Scale maybe that background color. Oops, see, I'm still on the other layer. Make sure you're on this layer now. So select this layer, select that layer's background, and scale that. Also need to make the dotted line a little bit bigger. I think that's the right layer. Edit, free transform that. You gotta hold shift to let it so it lets you scale the width without changing the height. So I'm holding shift. Used to be the opposite. Older versions of Photoshop, you had to hold shift to constrain the proportions. Now it's the opposite. Okay, and then let's drag this a little bit this way. We have more room there. Okay, and then since we have a little bit more room, you don't really have to do anything different, but if you want, you could try adding something extra. Like, what could we actually add to this? Not much. I mean, what if we added like a fold? I don't know. This would be maybe unnecessary and too much. How do we even do it? Like this? Make it look like the paper is folded. Um, it's gotta be. Let's try it just on new layer. I'm gonna just paint it. See what I need to do here. Just sketching at this point. Hmm. I'll just leave it alone. Um, so we could have like a longer version for the ones that we have more space. We could include maybe trendy threads flash sale instead of just exclusive flash sale. We can maybe include a name, shop now. Could have a button there, say big. But yeah, we're already getting to the point now we have more height, so gives us a little bit more room. Let me move this back. Ah, shift select them. So again, selecting everything on that layer, hold the Alt button and just copy it over. Then scale these guys. Oops, wrong layer. Again, we gotta click this one, make sure we're on this layer. Edit free transform. Why is it saying the bounding rectangle is empty? What layer is this? Layer 3. I guess I don't need it. Does this have a layer 3? Or layer 2 in this case? Don't need that. I have an extra layer, I'm just deleting it. Okay, I want to grab this dotted line. Hold shift. You could also click this button here to make sure it's centered to the artboard. Up here you have, when you select a layer, or yeah, layer, in this case I got the dotted line selected. Clicking this will center it horizontally and vertically. If you think it needs centering. Like this one seems fine, but it could be perfect if I, oops, kind of hard when you have something thin like that dotted line. You gotta make sure you click on it carefully. Because I'm actually, sometimes I'm selecting the background when I click it. And you can tell because the background is highlighted, layer 1. So, I mean, I could always just click the rectangle layer like that. And then center it that way. Okay, back to this one. Just making sure this is selected. Clicking that. What can we do here? Exclusive flash sale. Can be probably bigger now. So we shift select them and free transform. Well, it looks like I only selected one. Hold shift, click the other one. Edit free transform. So we have some more space to move things around. We could probably do exclusive flash sale, limited time offer, and then this now can be on 2 lines, get up to, and then make 50% off bigger. Oops, wrong one. If you need to adjust the line height, there's always the character panel, which lets you change the line height. It's this one right here. So right now it's set to auto, but easier way is if you just highlight the text, and in this case I'm highlighting the bottom text, and then hold the Alt button and then just press up on your keyboard. Bring it up a little bit. This one was actually separate text boxes, so this one I could just move, but this one, because it's in the same text box, I gotta use Alt and then up and down to adjust that. So you see how we're keeping it simple, but it's important to just lay out your text in an effective way. Um, you can always, I mean, it is possible to do more fun sort of ads. This is kind of simple because it's just text, but let me see if I can find some examples. Actually, I'll show you after the break. It is possible to fit some design in there, but you're gonna have to maybe take out some of the text. But that always depends on, the instructions for the ad. What do they actually want you to say on the ad? If it's not too much, maybe you could fit in some graphics. Okay, let's take a break. Okay, I might not do all of these, but let me at least just make sure we are happy with the design. So this is a very simple design. At 100%, this is the actual size. I mean, maybe we get a better idea if I do save for web. And then, yeah, just view it like, I don't know if this makes no difference. Same thing. But I was trying to see, in the past, how much stuff could I fit in that little area. And I've actually been able to fit a lot more than just those few lines. I mean, this says exclusive flash sale, limited time offer, get up to 50% off. But I've been able to fit a gift card in there. You've qualified. $25 gift card, over 1 million given out so far. Click redeem, blah blah blah. You could fit a little bit more. It's just gonna be really tiny. I think the limit to how small you can make the text. Let's see. We probably don't want to go lower than like 8 pixels or 8 points. Even that's really tiny. So maybe 9. And then if you do get that small, you gotta make sure you're using a font that's readable. Like you could still, I guess, read that if it pops up on your screen. It's not too important, it's just a little detail. Maybe you could make it that tiny. But there are some things that I want to change about this design. Like it's too black and yellow. Maybe there's 50%. It can be a different color. But make sure it's something that contrasts with the yellow. The black works well, but I think a blue color could also work. I don't think a green is a good idea because it's too close to yellow. And you gotta think of complementary colors. So I think blue is the complement. Well, what's the opposite of yellow? It's blue, right? Or is it like purple? We could probably use some kind of tool to figure out the color. This doesn't have, I don't think it has the color helper tool like the one that Illustrator has. Maybe we could find complements online. Okay, Canva's got this thing here. Let's take the background color. Just gonna grab the hexadecimal value of that. Paste it in here. That's that yellow we're using. Looks like this would be the complement, this shade of blue. Copy that. And change this color to that one. Ew, that does not look as good as I thought. I'll do that, but I'll darken it. I'm not gonna stick with that. It needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, we need some more balance in the colors. As is, it doesn't look good, so maybe exclusive and then flash sale could maybe be red color. That works. I'm gonna just make this the same color though. But luckily it saves some recent colors up here, so in my swatches panel it shows me recent colors I've used. So I could just highlight this and pick the recent red color I used, highlight the 50%. It's a little bit tricky highlighting that 50% for some reason. Change it to that color, and then I do want to include some more design elements. Now that I saw this and figured I could fit way more stuff in there, just make it a little bit smaller. I think I'll try to at least put a fold, which I failed at last time. Let's maybe move that way. Okay, so basically just need like a triangle or a square here. Make a square, fill it with black. Don't need a stroke. That does not look like a fold. We need to take this corner and flatten it. And then maybe copy this and rotate it. make it. What kind of layer is this? It's still a shape layer, so I gotta use the shape tool here, make that white. And then make sure it's on top of the dotted line. And then maybe change the color to I don't know what color works. Probably a brighter yellow, or maybe a gradient. And then make sure that's on top of the dotted line. And maybe put a drop shadow. Actually, for the drop shadow, I'll just use the same triangle, duplicate it, and make it this color, well, darker version of the yellow. I'm sending it backwards using a shortcut. Control left bracket. Let's do the free transform. Cannot transform selected pixels. Cannot modify without first rasterizing the layer. Okay, maybe transform. Shouldn't there be a way to transform shapes? It usually says transform shape here, but I don't see it. Whatever, I'll do free transform. I'll have to convert this to a regular layer by rasterizing it, so it's no longer going to be a shape layer. Yeah, I'll just rasterize it. I don't know why it's not giving me the option to transform the shape. Usually lets you do that. It's not grayed out either, I just don't see the option. Anyways, right click and rasterize layer. Okay, then I should be able to free transform it. What did it say this time? Edit, free transform. Selected area is empty. What do you mean? Maybe it's just so tiny it doesn't see it. That's crazy. Okay, I guess it's just really small. That's why it's not letting me free transform it. Anyways, it's close enough. It looks like a shadow. Just need to. Yeah, we'll just do that. That works. This might look better black. Anyways, unnecessary, but just to add some design. Okay, this definitely needs to be bigger. Center that. Okay. Right. That's about it. So just continue doing that. Just copy everything over from one artboard to another. Let's do this one because it's so different. And just move everything here, but we're gonna have to rearrange stuff here. So first of all, this background and dotted line. I'm gonna turn off auto select for this. I'm trying to figure out what is this layer 5. I guess I need to delete that. Okay, we got layer 5. You probably want to rename some of these layers to make it easier for you to figure out what you're selecting. So I'll just call that PG, and then this is the dotted line. Select those two with control select, and then I could free transform both of those. Remember, you gotta hold shift on this. And because this artboard, I think, is a little bit bigger, I'm gonna maybe make the dotted lines a little bit thicker. So I'll go to the shape tool, and then you should bring up the stroke in the control panel. Just press up on the arrow. Can't tell if it's doing anything. Oh, well, you have to press enter, I guess. I think that's good. Right, and the limited time offer and all this text, I have to rearrange it. So I can bring this over here. Exclusive can be smaller. Flash sale can be 2 lines. It's centered. And bigger. And select the bottom line and alt click or alt tap up to bring up the text. Squish it together a little bit. We have a lot more room here, so let's take this, control click to select it, bring it down here, bring that to the middle, exclusive, flash sale, limited time offer can be 2 lines or 3 lines. We take the black box behind limited time offer, which is this rectangle, I think. Free transform that first. limited, enter time, enter. Offer. Let's center that. And let's play with the size of the text. This text, I don't know if it's the font or what, but it's very hard to select the line that I want to select. Like right now, it looks like I'm trying to select time, but it's selecting limited. So I think it's because of the font. Like if I was using something normal, like Montserrat, still like that. Undo. So it's just something you have to get used to. Gonna make time bigger. Bring it up a little bit. Offer can be bigger. I'm using the font slider. So you click on the T here, and you can like slide it left and right to make your to change the font size. Okay, and remember for the Alt and then up arrow thing to work, you have to select the whole line. You can't just select like 2 letters. It won't work that way. So just triple click to select the whole line and then Alt tap up arrow. Okay, so here I'll start adding more stuff that I didn't have room for in the smaller sizes. I could probably, why don't we do this? Make this limited time offer, just keep it black. And we'll do a button down here. Edit, free transform. Make the button about that big. And we'll just say shop now. Alright, I'm gonna skip the other ones because it's just gonna be more of the same. It's gonna be boring watching me do all that. I will take this though and include that on maybe here because we have so much space here. Make that bigger too. Yeah, I think it looks nicer with that little fold. Okay. Alright, next thing we want to do is maybe add some animation to this. So it's gonna be, we're gonna have to use this timeline. So if you don't have the timeline, you gotta go to Window, Timeline. But I'm gonna do it separate. So the way we're gonna do this is um, we'll save this. I'll just save this file. We'll save it on the desktop in our 156 folder. be Photoshop ads, flash sale. I'll call that flash sale, save it in there. Okay. So for the thing I want to add now is scissors that will be going around. Okay. So the going around part we'll probably do in this file. I'll have to figure out how to make something move following this line, and it should be easy because it's just going around in a square or a rectangle. So we'll use the timeline. We basically will set a keyframe here, start there, and then set another keyframe here. Then that will result in something moving from there to there, and just continue going around. I'll have to do that for each one. This is going to be very time consuming and annoying, but that's really what I deal with. And then for the actual scissor, we want to create a scissor GIF. Okay, so this will be kind of a separate thing of itself. I'll close that and create a new file. But before I start this new thing though, any questions on this one? Or anyone having trouble? Nope. Okay. Hopefully it's pretty simple. It's gonna be time consuming. I'll give you some time to finish this. Um, and honestly, if you just feel like giving up after doing like 4 of them, that's fine. Just let me know, because maybe I shouldn't ask you to do this many, even though in the real world you're probably gonna have to do more than that. So maybe I'll limit this to just 5 sizes, if that helps. Yeah, because let's not waste too much time on this, as long as you get how to do it, right? Anyways, let's close that. And now we're gonna do something that maybe you don't really need to. You could probably find something like this online for free. Scissors GIF. There you go. And, well, not exactly like this. Yeah, okay, these are just not the type of scissor GIF I'm looking for. Okay, the one that we're gonna do, we'll create a new file. It's gonna be really tiny, maybe 50 by 50. You could always, if you want to work larger size, you can do like 200 by 200 and then shrink it later. But yeah, I'll just do this 200 by 200 square. And then, what do scissors look like? I find it easier to draw this in Adobe Illustrator using the shape tools in Illustrator, but you could probably do it here too with like the ellipse tool. Let's see if we can do it here. Do a solid. Yeah, honestly, no, I don't want to do it here. It's gonna be a pain. Okay, I'll do this in Adobe Illustrator just because I know it'll be way easier. So I'm gonna draw the parts for the scissors. Well, just the 2 pieces, because really scissors are just two pieces, right? So for scissors, usually you have, we'll start with an ellipse. Copy paste that. Um, which side is the blade? That side, right? Let's turn off the fill. Okay, so we're just gonna draw some scissors. I should probably look at a reference image so I get it down better. Then I'm gonna copy that and paste it. Oops. Maybe combine it first. What's all this mess? Let's clean it up a little, get rid of unnecessary points. Okay, once we're happy with that, I don't know what's more comfortable scissors. The hole is gonna be what, this way? I should really look at a picture of some scissors. Anyways, copy that, and rotating it's not gonna work. Need to flip it. Object transform, reflect. Okay. So if we go like that, and we go like this, does that work? Or that looks weird? Something's off. Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
did.
because it has to go like the plain part.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly like that.
you mean it has to go like, this should have been on the bottom, right? How can we fix it? Let's do this. Actually, let's go back. So the problem was, it should have been. Wait, how does this make it different though? Transform, reflect. Okay. That's that's more like it. Okay, so we need something like that. But let me clean it up a little. Let's look at a picture of some scissors. Something simple like that one. Yeah, it's just an oval shape, right? Just checking if I have like extra unnecessary points by dragging these out. Looks good. Okay, I'll go with that. Reflect, copy. Just fill these with black. Okay, so these are the two shapes that I need. And then we're gonna animate them just, doing that in Photoshop and save it as a GIF. So I'll copy them one at a time and paste. I'm gonna do, you should probably do smart object because it keeps its detail. You don't lose detail by shrinking it and stuff. Okay, we got our two pieces. Let's figure out. Okay, so this is how we're gonna animate this. We're gonna first create a timeline, video timeline. Okay, when you click video, create video timeline, it'll bring up this slider here. Okay, and we get to add keyframes for transformations and movements and stuff. If you click artboard 1, should open up the layers, let you see there's a smart, well, let's start by renaming these. Let's call this oh yeah, half 1, half 2. Okay, there's half 1 and half 2. Each one will have another drop down here for position, opacity, and style. Okay, but we don't need position, opacity, style. We need transform because we're not just gonna be moving it like this. We're not just gonna be changing the opacity or changing the style. We actually need to transform and rotate this. Right now there is no rotate option. You get that by converting these to smart objects. Right click, convert to smart object. Now when I open this, there's a transform instead of position. Okay, so let's put them both in their initial starting position. So this is going to be going around the dotted line. Probably just keep it straight like this, I guess. And we'll rotate it. You can always rotate it later in the file that we imported into. So let's just get it into the starting position. This will be transformed, rotated a little bit that way. And then this one, transform, rotated that way. We could have even just taken one and duplicated it here. Just to make sure it's exactly the same thing, but opposite side. We do transform, flip vertical. Just so it's more even, or exactly flipped the opposite side. Okay, that looks fine. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna rotate it a little bit more. I'm gonna basically put it in its most open position. Would be here, let's say, about that much. Okay, and then transform, flip vertical. Wait, make a copy first, and then transform, flip vertical. Cool. Now to start animating it, probably just need like a couple frames, not too much. So we're on frame 1 or 0. We're gonna move the slider to, let's see, press play. That's about how fast it's gonna be playing. So maybe at like 2F, we'll rotate half 1. Before you do anything, bring it back to 0 and make sure you click on transform on both of these. So the little stopwatch next to transform. This is something you're gonna see a lot. This little stopwatch, and these are called keyframes. These little yellow diamonds. That tells us that it's saving basically the position, the transform information, whatever rotation it's at, got saved there in this little diamond for both the half one and half two. So now we move it to frame 20F, or let's just bring it to 1 second. This one means 1 second, 0, 1. So this is at 1 second. We'll rotate it back this way, and then get the other one, rotate it this way. Okay, now if we play this, it's a little bit slow, isn't it? But that's fine, because you could just drag these keyframes, bring it all the way back here, press play, much better. And then we don't have to worry about doing all that again for opening it. We just take these diamonds and then right click on them and say copy, and just move the slider where you want, let's say at 1F, and should be able to paste it. Oh, you know what? Never mind. You have to actually click to drop another keyframe, then select it, and then you should be able to paste over it. Let me try again. Let's take this one, copy, copy, try Control C. Why isn't it letting me paste it? See, the paste is grayed out. I don't know why. Copy from here maybe. Control C. Control V. Uh-oh. It's copying the whole thing. Alright, so since it's not letting me copy paste, I really should though. I know I've done it before. Copy, paste. Strange. Anyways, you'll just have to manually do it then. Okay, so we'll just bring it back. Where you want to open it, just bring the slider there. And then do a free transform. Just rotate it. Oops. Rotate it back to open. The annoying thing about that is you're not going to get it exactly how you had it in the beginning. That's why I really want to be able to paste it. Let's find out why doesn't it let me paste it. I don't know. It's a mystery. Now, okay. I don't know why it wasn't letting me do it before, but it just let me paste it. Okay, try the same thing with the other one. Copy. Add a keyframe. Paste over it. Oh, you know why? I think it's because I had the wrong layer selected. So, yeah, so make sure you have half one selected if you're trying to copy the keyframe from that one. I just paste it over that. Cool, and that's all we need. That's really all we need. We just need to now shorten this animation by just dragging all of this back down this way. Okay, let's even it out a little bit. Oops. I don't know why it always looks like it's not really exactly in the middle, but whatever. Let's just do that. Press play. So we got a scissors animation. Let's now export this file. Export, save for web. And we mentioned a bunch of image formats yesterday. The GIF has special ability. You can animate it. Can't really do that with any of the other formats. Just the GIF or GIF. And you can preview the animation. You can also see how big the file size is going to be with these GIF animations. Because a GIF is not compressed as well as a JPEG, file sizes can be big if the image is large and if there's a lot of frames. But this is going to be a small image. Actually, this is way too big right now. If we look at it at 100%, we don't need it to be that big for the ads that we're going to throw it on. We need it to be like way smaller. Let's go down to like 50 by 50. Right? That's how small we need it to be. And then let's also make sure the artboard is not bigger than it needs to be. So shrink it down to the size of the scissors when they're open. Right, so I use the crop tool for that. Should not mess up the animation. Actually, I think I have room to crop it a tiny bit more, like that. Just whatever I need. Alright, now let's do the export. Save for web, legacy. Press play to preview it, or select GIF first. Press play to preview it. Since we have no color, we don't really need 256 colors. We could just choose like 2. Actually, that's maybe not enough. Let's go with 8 colors. We don't need more than that. That brings our file size down, I think. It's only 2.151 kilobytes. It's very tiny. Okay, it's what we want. And then we'll save this. Put it on the desktop. Call it scissors. Actually, let me put it in the 156 assignment 2 folder. And we could save this in case, I don't know, we want to mess around with it. Just call this scissors. Okay, now we go back to this thing. do file, and where is it? File import. Um, I forgot. We need to do first. We need to create a timeline here. This is also going to have a timeline because it's also going to be animating, and plus we're bringing an animation into it. So file, and then import video frames to layers, perhaps. Let me see if I could bring it in the other way. Let's do this. Let's just open the scissors GIF. Or let's see. We won't be able to drag a GIF in here. I don't think that would work. It's a lot slower than the preview was. But what we could do is we probably have to save the scissors animation as a smart object itself, the whole thing, and then just drag it into here. I think that'll work. So let's open scissors PSD. You don't want to just drag the scissors. Like if I go to the layers and I just drag this artboard over, or just use the move tool, what would happen? Just drops the artboard, but completely lost everything that was there. So don't do that. Instead, I think we need to select the two halves. So just select all of this, right click and convert to smart object. And then take that smart object, drag it over, and it will play. But we need to do something so that it repeats, because it's not repeating right now, not looping. I think double click on it. See, it has a loop playback. We have to double click on the smart object first. Where did I put it? Looks like it's in 320 by 480. I just yeah, because that's where I dropped it. So double click the smart object. It should open up the original. And then I think here we need to click, well, it is on loop playback. We might have to manually just duplicate this. I gotta double check. Let me see how I did it before. I forgot how to make it like repeat the longer we play it. I don't see any options here. Set timeline frame rate, enable timeline shortcut, frame skipping. Maybe I do have to do it manually. Let me double check. Let's open up. I'm gonna open something that I've used the scissors on before. Scissors. Oh yeah. So you can't make it loop automatically. You have to manually do it. Just keep duplicating it. It's just gonna be annoying. Okay, so since there's no automatic way to do it, basically have to take the animation. It's only up to here, right? So just shorten that to there. Actually, it's better if we do it in the in here. So basically, just duplicate these. Control J, slide it over. Control J to duplicate, slide it over. See, now it's instead of playing one time, it's playing 3 times. But depending on how long it's gonna take for the scissors to go all the way around, like how long do you want it to take? Let's say we're playing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we want like maybe 6 seconds. So just extend this all the way to 6 seconds. We'll have to just duplicate these. Control J, Control J. We're barely at 1 second right now, so gotta repeat it a few times. Now we're at anyways, this sort of animation obviously will there's better tools for things like this, like After Effects, but for a simple GIF, I think it's okay. We'll just have to do some manual work like this. But in After Effects there's smarter ways to do these things. You know what, that's fine. 4 seconds. Just make it go all the way to 6 seconds. Five seconds. Alright, 5 seconds is good. Cool. Let's go. Now we gotta save this. So when you double click a smart object and you close it again, it'll ask if you want to save it. Just say yes. There it is. So we should be able to bring this all the way out to 5 seconds. Maybe not. Okay, let's see why it's not. It's disappearing. Let's double click on it. Why did it disappear? Because actually no, it should still be there. Let's try, maybe I have to re-import it since I um since I changed it after I imported it. I need to re-import it or re-drag it back in. Hmm. Oh, oops. I I extended it. Where did the extended version go? Uh-oh. Okay. Good thing I could undo that. So this was the one that was actually extended, right? I double click on it. Yeah. So this is the one that we need to use. I thought when I saved it, it would overwrite this one, but it didn't. Okay, so the smart object is its own thing. Maybe you should save as, because when you do save on a smart object, it saves in a temporary folder, which is going to be hard to find. So if I want to save this longer version and use this instead, I'm going to save it on the desktop assignment to folder. I'll call this one scissors extended. Okay, now I could close that. Now I could try re-importing it, and I'll close this too. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it doesn't just work here though. So yeah, let's just get rid of it. Open scissors extended. And save all of this as a smart object. Convert to smart object. Should be 5-second long. And then just take that and drag it. Oops, could not move the use tool because no layer selected. Why is it saying that? There we go. Drag it here. Let's just drop it here, let's say. Okay, so now it's longer. I think that's enough time for it to go around the whole thing. We probably also scale it down. Make it a little bit tinier. Rotate it a little bit. I feel like we should um, compress all of this a little more because it's hard to see it. So just bring that down, bring that up. Select all of that stuff in our layers. Except for the background. Okay, so all that's selected, I'm going to scale it. Just push it in a little bit. All right. Okay, cool. So now we could see it actually. We'll start there, left corner. We'll need to do the same thing we did before, a little bit different. So now it's just this layer 2. Let me reset my workspace. Okay, so what is it? It's on layer 2, right? Layer 2 copy, or maybe not. What layer is this? Half 2 copy. Okay, so there it is. This layer that it's on, we're gonna open the timeline window. What happened to my timeline? It disappeared. Okay. And then layer 2 copy. Let's give it. What's layer 2 copy? I need to get rid of that because it keeps getting selected or popping up here. But we're not actually on that layer. This is layer 2 copy. Just delete that. I don't know why it's there. So the one we're looking for is, it's called half 2 copy. Let's change it to scissors. And then find scissors. It's supposed to be in the 320 by 100. There it is. Okay, there's scissors. Now we don't need to do transform, but it's already a smart object, so might as well. I'm gonna click the transform stopwatch again. This time we're gonna, remember the whole thing is 5 seconds, so you divide by that 5 seconds into 4. We basically just drop like 1, 2, and 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 will be the last one. So you have wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, never mind. We don't need that last one. So we have one for the beginning. We have one for the end. One here and one here. Okay, basically now we just need to go to the second keyframe thing we added, and just when we're on that, we can move this here, right? And then go to the next one and move it there. Maybe rotate it. You could also add one extra keyframe here just to rotate. So basically it gets there, it'll rotate. Then it'll go there. Then here it should rotate again. Put that there. And then for the last one, let me move it back a little bit. For the last one, we move it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we do need a fifth one after all, because it needs to go back to where it started. So from there to there to there. So let's make room for one more. So at the end, it should just go back to where it was, or we can copy add a keyframe and paste. So it goes all the way around, and then it should be opening and closing while it's going around. And you could work on fixing the rotation. Like, that's fine, I guess. That's fine. Here we need to keep it this way. And here it needs to be more this way. And then here, can rotate it up. And then keep it rotated up till like it gets to here. Then it can rotate back. Oh, and since these lines are shorter, we could also like move things around a little. So like this part, since it's a longer distance, we could move this, make the distance between these keyframes longer. Okay, and then make it shorter for between there, and make it longer again for that part, and make it shorter again for that. So basically, just need to even it out a little bit. So this could be a little bit longer. Something like that. So let's see how that looks. That's better. Um, then you have to do that for all the other ones, but just do it for one of them. You don't. I'm not gonna make you do it for all of them. Do like 4 or 5 for the animation. Just do one. If you are even gonna do it, you don't have to. And honestly, the artboards can be annoying to work with. Um, I would maybe even do separate files, because if you do separate files, there's probably an advantage if you're gonna do animations, because like this is gonna be hard to keep track of. It just gets messy. Like when you're looking at your timeline, there's just so many things because now you have multiple artboards instead of just one. I mean, they're collapsible, but still. It should be pretty easy though. If you did do one animation, I think all we need to do is just, let's see, where's the animation? It was on artboard 320 by 100. There's the scissors. It's basically scissors. Just that scissors layer needs to be copied. Right, so we just copy that over to here, for example. Okay, let me switch to this layer now. Where do we drop the scissors? Okay, so once again, I'll drag it here. Can't drag it from there. Drag it from here then. I'm alt dragging it so it copies it. Now it's in 160 by 600. Let's see if it copied the keyframes. I might have to make it a smart object before copying it, because sometimes it might not actually bring those keyframes that make it go around in a square. Oh, looks like it did. It did, but hold on. It did, but it's glitchy. It just disappeared. So it was here 1 second ago, but now it's gone. You probably will have to do. What's happening, I guess, is the scissors got copied, but the keyframes saved their position in the other artboard. So as soon as I play it, it's like it jumps back to the other place it was at. Not sure how we could avoid that though. See, it's there, but as soon as I play it, it just disappears. So we can't do it that way. But if I make it a smart object, I suspect it'll work better. Okay, smart object. It still plays normal on that one, but we should be able to copy it here to 160. It's there. See if it disappears again. Oh, see, now it actually stayed. Now we just need to oh, that's not good though. It's if I edit the smart object on this, it might, let's see, might affect the other one. Like, what happens if I delete all these keyframes? Yeah, when I deleted the keyframes on that one, this one got deleted too. But it's okay. We'll figure out better method maybe next class. Or what we should do is maybe not make it a smart object and just copy it over. But then before you play anything, make sure you get rid of the keyframes. That way, oh, it still disappeared. Oh, it didn't disappear. It's there somewhere. Okay, that works. It's a little tricky. We'll go over it again next class. But I had to delete all the keyframes off of it so it wouldn't disappear. And basically I just have to redo the animation. Oh, at least the easy part, just moving it from here to here to the four corners. And maybe we should modify the scissors to have like a white outline so it doesn't disappear on a black background. But we didn't really have too much time to get into all those details today, but at least you got like an overall look of how it's done. Next class I'll try to do it more slowly and I'll let you guys follow along, and then try the same thing in Google Web Designer HTML version. Okay, that's all for today.